Welcome back to Rank and File Sports, where we are grading every single NFL draft class based on three categories. First of all, we're going to grade based off of whether or not the team drafted the players that fit their needs for next season, as well as the overall talent that they got, just assessing the draft class as a whole. And then finally, the value. Is each player worth where they were drafted at? Were they a steal at that position, or did the team maybe reach a little bit and not get as good a value as they could have if they had traded the pick? And then after that, we're going to go ahead and give them an overall grade. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video.
The worst team in the NFL last year, the Tennessee Titans, went into the NFL draft needing a quarterback, wide receiver, edge rusher, offensive guard, and a safety. And with the first overall pick in the 2025 NFL drafts, the Titans selected Cam Ward, quarterback from Miami, after a spectacular season after transferring from Washington State. Honestly, this is exactly what you're looking for. I know some people have some doubts for Cam Ward, but I think he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback for the Titans. I think they have a good amount of weapons for him to utilize, and I think he's going to be the spark that they need on offense.
Yeah, there was no doubt that he was going to be the first overall pick. Their second pick, they took Oluwafemi Oladejo out of UCLA. I apologize to him for that name pronunciation. But overall, he is going to be a really, really good edge rusher for the Titans, I think. This was a pretty deep edge class, so getting him in the second round, pretty solid.
Into the third round, they took Kevin Winston Jr., a safety from Penn State. Another phenomenal pick. They just went three straight picks addressing one of their needs. And Kevin Winston Jr. is going to be an absolute unit for this Titans secondary. 6'2", 215, an aggressive downhill run defender. This is a perfect pick for the Titans defense. Only issue is that he is coming off of a knee injury from last season, but if he's able to return fully healthy, I think he's going to be exactly what this Titans defense needs.
Yeah, their first of three picks, though, in the fourth round. This is the only pick that I would say is really a reach from the Titans. About 2 rounds worth of talent that they reached to get Chimere Dike, a wide receiver out of Florida. I think they really just went for him because of his speed. He had the third quickest 40-yard dash at 4.34. But other than that, they probably could have waited a little bit. But again, with his speed, not really a terrible pick here.
Yeah, you know what they say, speed kills, and that's exactly what he did at Florida. Later on in the fourth round, they took tight end Gunnar Helm from Texas. Incredibly valuable pick here. He is essentially another wide receiver for them. Going to be a huge weapon for Cam Ward to use. 6'5", 241. He broke Texas's single game or single season record for catches and receptions by a tight end last year. Good speed, good size. This is exactly what you're looking for in a tight end.
Third pick of the fourth round, and they went for their third consecutive receiver, grabbing Alec Eomanor out of Stanford. He fell a little bit further than I was expecting him to. Very, very solid receiver. I think he's going to be another really good target for Cam Ward, and I think it's pretty impressive that the Titans were willing to spend this many picks just getting their young quarterback a lot of talent to throw the ball to.
Yeah, and Travis Hunter better count his days until he sees Ao Manor again, because that's his biggest highlight is the around Travis Hunter's back in the Stanford comeback win at Boulder 2 seasons ago. Into the fifth round, they took Jackson Slater, an offensive guard from Sacramento State, yet another draft need that they're addressing. 6'3", 311, getting him right where he was projected to get drafted. Started 42 games at left guard and 2 games at left tackle. Versatility is always an added bonus. Despite being maybe a little bit shorter than most guards, he is just as strong as anyone you're going to end up picking. This is yet another phenomenal pick. Even his Senior Bowl performance is what got him his draft stock.
Next up, they grabbed Marcus Harris out of that impressive California secondary. I think this is going to turn out to be a pretty good pick. He's actually a former walk-on, so very, very impressive. Congrats to him for making it to the NFL. And yeah, like I said originally, Cal had a really strong secondary last season, so I think he's going to turn out to be a pretty good player, at the very least, a depth piece for the Titans.
And with their final pick in the sixth round, they took Kalal Mullings, running back from Michigan. Originally played linebacker back in 2022, but transformed into a running back during the 2022 season and was their predominant running back for the 2024 season after Donovan Edwards was expected to take over the lead back role after the departure of Blake Corum. Didn't happen as much, but Kalal Mullings was a very solid running back. Is it a product of the Michigan offensive line or a product of his own? Guess we'll see at the next level, but definitely has the speed and strength capabilities to be a solid running back at the next level.
Taking a look at this draft class, the needs are going to be an A plus grade. Their first four picks all addressed needs. They got two really good value picks after that before addressing the fifth. You really can't do much better than that in as far as drafting what your team needs goes. Talent wise, it's also going to be an A plus. You got the first overall pick. Obviously, that's huge. Oladejo's a great player. Kevin Winston Jr. was a steal. Gunnar Helm was a steal. Ao Manor was a steal. They crushed it this entire draft class. Every single one of these players is very, very solid. The value grade is going to be an A. Chimere Dike was the only reach, and it's justified by his speed. So overall, this is going to be an A plus draft class from the Titans. Absolutely crushed it. I really don't think they could have done any better.
I mean, usually when a team gets the first overall pick, you kind of expect them to get the guy that they really, really want, the like franchise player. But then after that, sometimes the draft starts to crumble and the talent vanishes as you go, especially with the amount of needs the Titans had. But they were able to hit on every single need and even get some depth. They were able to draft the two wide receivers in this draft, just get so many different weapons for their new franchise quarterback in Cam Ward. This could end up being an interesting case of worst to first in the AFC South. That division might be wide open. We'll see what happens, but this Titans team is looking like they're going to make a dramatic improvement going into next season. So, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more of our videos, and we will see you in the next one.